Last night, the devil came a knocking. That's why I look the way I do today. Whew, that devil's been trying to get in for a while. That's the way he works. It is his style. A bit more than a week ago, I went to a mastermind put on by Mundo, and it was very good. I learned a lot. I was grateful and happy. But the last day I was there, I felt a scratch and a tickle in my throat. And soon I knew I'm getting sick. Something's here to show me that I am not as strong and as young as I used to be. Doron gave me pink. Well, I'm a waterholic. That's my preferred drink. He gave me a powder that made it turn all pink. And it was fine. And I could feel it is medicine. So thank you, because it helped me get myself home from the airplane. And Raz helped a lot. He did all the driving. He's a great partner. But right now, I feel like I'm dying. Anyhow, I got home and I was, oh no, I'm really sick, but had no choice. I jumped in the shower, dropped my things, and went to relieve my Matt to take care of my grandbaby because Matt had a conference to go to in Phoenix, and Mom was already in Vancouver on another conference. So Grandma to the rescue. Okay. Oh my God, that was hard. I was getting worse by the hour. Sammy has so much energy. She's so fantastic. She helped my spirit, that she did for sure. But my nose started running. My throat started feeling like it's on fire. I was taking Dayquil, NyQuil, Anyquil. You just help. She comes into my bedroom. So I had her, let me see, because I was back on, day was I back on? I was back on Tuesday, no, Monday night. And they were gone Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. They were supposed to be home. So, yeah, let me see. Tuesday, definitely going down and sick. Sick the whole time. Trying not to stop to get the little baby sick. Sammy comes into the bedroom I was sleeping in her parents' bed. And she's like, Grandma, what happened? I said, oh, I'm definitely sick. I've been telling her I was sick. She's 2, almost 3. And she says, Grandma, that's a lot of tissue. It was everywhere. So I now had the burden of the house. I didn't want my daughter to come home and also get sick, and my son-in-law and the baby to get sick. It was a treacherous time as far as my health is concerned because my nose was running every moment. It's still blistery. I've got pimples that have broken out my face everywhere. My eyelid got a sty. It was hot. My tongue was all white. Now it's better. But the devil came last night. It waited. Anyhow, so I am so hanging on and looking forward to Friday. Friday, when Sammy went to the next door neighbors for babysitting, I put myself into high gear and I swept that entire house because I wasn't sure where the vacuum cleaner was and I was too sick to look for it. So I swept the whole freaking house, opened every window, washed counters, disinfected, cleaned the kitchen, cleaned the toilets, no matter that I was sick because my daughter's pregnant. I didn't want to make her sick. And the baby. So far, Sammy wasn't showing any real sickness. So then on Friday night, I was sleeping on the couch because I was expecting my daughter to come. Actually, I was expecting her to come home at 9 or 10, and I was going to go to my own room, but her flight was canceled from Vancouver, and she got on a red eye and got home at 5. It landed at 5 a.m., so she was home around 6, snuck up into her room. I couldn't leave her with the baby. So I was on the couch, pulled myself up, got the baby, Sammy fed, and we came to my house, which was also a disaster. Anyhow, Matt, on the other hand, hadn't been as lucky. He was scheduled to come out of Phoenix on the day when they had the worst rain in 7 years. Phoenix and rain. Oxymoron? Definitely moronic. Anyways, his flight was canceled for an entire day. So he didn't get home until Saturday very late. Okay. So now it is Saturday. afternoon. My daughter's slept in a few hours and feeling better. I'm ready to hand over Sammy, and Sammy starts sniffling, which I wasn't happy. I need Kleenex. Anyways, I come home and I actually sleep in my bed. I took a nap. So I took a nap, wake up, feel so much better. I decided it's time to start walking because the last thing I've been able to do is walk. And I got in about 12,000 steps the whole day. Because when I'm with Sammy, she dictates and how far we walk. So it's always with the car. Howdy. So yesterday was Sunday and I did my best to kind of go back to normal and really get some rest. And I did walk a fair amount. I managed to get in 15,000 steps, went shopping for some things I need to help myself get well. And then I delivered it to Sammy's house because I had also picked up some infant hangers because she's out of hangers for her little clothes. So this morning is Monday and I'm going to go get those meds to help me. But what happened last night? What happened last night is why I started this. Well, for one thing, I didn't want to sit at the computer. I sat at the computer to get my ticket to Rhea Campbell's event and to pay for my social media services. And that's it. So yesterday I actually walked like a lost old woman or something because I wasn't walking fast. But I did get in 15,000 steps, which is good. And I collected seeds. My flowers are all starting to pass and the seeds are ready for picking and I like doing that. And I tried to clean up my place somewhat, which is a little bit done. Anyhow, I decided because I still am sick, I'd give myself a little bit of an excuse and watch a little bit of Netflix so I could wind down to go to sleep. I watched an episode and a half of Black Rabbit, which I'd been looking forward to because of the actors. Yeah. So Bateman is a good actor. They're both good actors and a good director, but the story's dark and it shows the evil in the world. And I've had some issues with some difficulties. I have money that's owing to me that I'm really struggling to get back. That's not cool, but not the kind of evil that I saw in the movie. So I think that the devil planted its seed there. Not sure. But I decided I don't need to watch this. I need sleep. So I went to hit the sack at like 8:30 thinking, well, I'm tired enough. I'm going to go to sleep. And I did because I was so sick. But right around 8:30 or so, my phone went off and I thought, well, I thought I had silenced it. I was like, what? Anyhow, I shouldn't have looked, but I did. And then, bing, I was awake. It took me a while to fall asleep, quite a while. But I finally fell asleep. I fell asleep, and then at 1 a.m., there I am, awake again. I was like, okay. But oh my God, the devil showed its face and teeth, and it was so threatening. In the darkness, in the night, you can feel like your blankets protect you and you're all right. Everything is cool, everything is safe. Or you can also feel like the darkness itself is the place of hell. And every single rotten thought came into my head. So many fearful things. I think because I'm owed money and I'm very frustrated by this person for doing what they have done and I've lost a lot. I woke up and I'm going to go check right after this for sure that all my money had been taken from my bank account. And where had I heard that? I had heard that in real life when Jake Villeray was on my podcast and he had had $3 million taken by a partner. I reminded myself, no, that's Jake's experience. And he's paid the price. He suffered so long. Let it go. It's all right. But I started worrying about money I wasn't making, how much I haven't made, and how much I have spent, and where's the income? Where's the cash flow? Where are the assets? Where did all my time go? Was really fussing, really worrying. The last thing I could do was just go to sleep. I tried real hard to fight and fight with logic. Every little bite that freaking devil was threatening me with, his claws, his teeth, it was ugly. I finally looked at the time again to see what frickin' time is it now. And as I say, I had woken at 1. It was 1:01, and now it was 2:35. And I had been fighting that devil the whole freaking time. I took it to my bed. Now I don't want to move because I feel so dead. But I'm going to. Oh my God, I look horrible. Man, oh man, oh. That's the way life goes. Right now, my bed looks like the enemy has been fighting. And I don't know who's winning, but daylight's here. And soon the sun will be shining. And I am going to whoop this fucking devil's ass. I feel like I want to be a squirrel in a tree in the winter and not be me, that's for sure. Ugh, being sick sucks, but being bothered by bad thoughts is worse, I think. Anyhow, I dreamt how Sub 2 turned its back, and so did Gator, and all of that, and how I really don't have any friends, and no one can help me. I'm going down. Broke, poor, beaten. I've been having problems with my teeth. Thanks to Medicare or whatever it is I'm on, I didn't realize that they had dropped my dental coverage. I dreamt my jaw fell off with excruciating pain. I'm in pain. It was painful night, very painful night. I was crying. Fear gripped me, man. It gripped me good. And I kept saying, it's okay. You'll be okay out loud. I also kept saying, I'm afraid. I'm afraid. I have to figure some of that out. I think I'm going to ask my son for help. I need help. Nothing terribly serious. It's just the devil came last night. And boy, it was quite a fight. Eventually, I got up and took 1/4 of a sleeping pill because I knew that daylight would be coming soon and I just didn't want to waste my day sleeping and fighting in that bed during the daylight. That wouldn't work. It did help me fall asleep. And I just woke up. I guess, wow, I've been talking for 20 minutes. 20 minutes ago, and I decided I would show that fucking devil who's the boss and get it out and put it down on tape or paper and make it sound a little funny, or at least just to share that loss of sleep and depression happens to everyone, but what you do with it is what's going to either pull you deeper or get you out. I have fought depression in my life. There was a time when I considered very seriously trying to end it all. I was 19. God, am I glad I didn't. But I know what depression is. I've had depression throughout some times of my life. I don't consider this depression. I consider this the devil's night. If untreated, if not dealt with, it could turn to depression. But that's why I'm talking now. So I can see exactly how to move forward. I'm practiced. I've been here before, but it's not as easy as just waking up. Not anymore. Because I obviously am still sick, and I'll need to forgive myself for whatever I cannot do and instead focus on joy and getting through. I promised myself during that night that something I haven't done for a long time I'm going to do. I'm going to get a blanket and I'm going to lay out a little picnic. I'm going to lay on the ground in the sun, my sunglasses on. I wish I had my little one. But Sammy's in daycare today. It's okay. I miss Sorrow. I'm going to be in the sun. I'm going to walk. I'm going to talk. I'm going to be much better. And I'm going to exhaust myself so that when I go to sleep tonight, hopefully I'll sleep all right. Another thing that bothered me, even though it was just a little bit, is I had a recording planned for today, and they they didn't show because I was communicating on a channel that through Facebook and they weren't checking Facebook. And they let me know a couple of days later that their children had been sick and they just didn't see it. And I was sick then, full blown sick, and haven't had the chance to say, hey, it's okay. It's just a podcast. Yes, being consistent has been important to me. That's why I'm now in my 3rd year, and I even dreamt that the podcast was taken down because it was so bad. I couldn't go around and do anything about it. But it's just a nightmare. It's just a devil's scare. So I'm going to post this because this is the side of me that I don't see all that often. And that I think is only fair to go ahead and share. And I'm sorry that I'm rhyming, but it seems I can't help myself. I'm not thinking, I'm just reacting and getting things out. And sometimes that boils down to silly rhymes. But it was a rough night. I had a dream in that night, besides all the fearful thoughts and fights that were happening when I was awake, because I'd wake up. I'd wake up and have these thoughts that scared me shitless, and I knew the devil was there. But I did sleep. I slept and dreamt that I was in high school or thereabouts, and not quite. I was an adult. I don't know where I was. And it was a school that had two sides. One was for the little guys, and the other one was for the special guys. And I started off in the one that was for ordinary folks, and everybody knew me as new. And I said, "What's over there?" And they're like, "Oh, I don't think you can go there." I thought, why not? I can go in there. And I went in there. And of course, I was judged big time. I was judged for how I looked. I was judged for my age. I guess I was old at the same time. That doesn't make sense. Anyhow, I don't think I looked older. But anyways, I remember being judged for my age. Maybe I was a couple years older or something. And I was judged for everything. But I had the right address. So they let me in. And I talked on purpose of having a rooster and chickens. Because I used to bake bread when I was a kid. I had to for the whole week. And that good thought came to me, as well as the smell of the bread. And these people were all laughing in their heads, and they were trying to get me to get out. And eventually I did, but not without a shout of how boring everyone in there is, and went back on the other side where people said, "Oh my God, she's alive." And I talked about how, hey, I have the address, guys. I live in the right area. I don't live in your area. I live in their area. And I have a rooster, and I've got chickens, and I bake bread, and I want people to come to my house. And everybody got all excited. What a strange dream. It's strange. Anyways, that was funny in a way. So some good came. I like to laugh. But boy, I need to have my coffee and slowly start my day. And we shall see where I am at the end of it. I hope that your Monday is exceptional. And just remember, if you had a bad night or if you're going through a rough time, it will pass. And how you treat yourself in this time is going to make a lot of difference on how long it takes before it passes. Whoops. That you can affect. So get it out. Write it down, tape it, shout it, yell it, and be kind to yourself as much as you can. And focus on putting the devil back in hell. Just go easy, but go. Walk, stretch, exercise, ride a bike, do some physical activity to help your mind and body feel itself. And like I said, I'm going to lay down on a blanket right on the ground today, as well as walking and stretching. And I'm going to be as kind as I can be without overeating. And sorry, Netflix, you can go without me. And I will get a little work done, I hope. And maybe tomorrow I'll be back. If not, the day after for sure. And that is that for now. Guys, if you're in the same boat as me, please know you're not alone. Felt so alone last night. And I thought about who can I ask to help? Who can I ask to help? Who can I ask to help? And it was just because of that one night. I'm getting on it right away. And I think it's going to be my son. But anyways, I want to say that you're not alone. It's just part of the devil's trickery to make you feel that way. Analyze and fight him back. And even if you don't win 100%, you'll feel alive for fighting. Don't give in. Don't give in. And for the rest of you who had a normal night's sleep, I am happy for you. Make it a fantastic Monday. And may the devil have only bothered me last night.